guys, Friendzone, for coming to hang out with me today. I know you got a lot of exciting stuff, a new single coming out next week. But first and foremost, can you guys talk about how you met and started making music together?
Yeah, I mean, so Hayden and I originally were both part of duos before we made Friendzone. And we actually met through Hayden's ex-girlfriend at a Chainsmokers concert in Park City. And we didn't really talk too much. We like kind of exchanged music every now and then, like on Facebook and stuff. But I was getting kicked out of my house because the landlord was trying to move in new tenants. And I was like struggling for a place to live. And I posted something on Facebook and Hayden's like, hey man, like, why don't you just come live with me? And I was like, all right, sure, why not? So we moved in together. And then we just, kind of connected over music, and we ended up having a lot of mutual friends and stuff. And I had bought some like really cool, like top of the line, like DJ equipment. So, we just sat in my living room, or our living room, like pretty much every night, like drinking beers and DJing with each other back and forth. And kind of ended up being like, hey man, like, you want to do this like together? And so that's how Friendzone was born.
Yeah, and I didn't really have much of a DJ background, and so kind of that whole experience, like living with Jesse, like we became like instant best friends, like even like beyond the music thing. And Jesse essentially taught me how to DJ because I really didn't know how. And my old project, I was like mainly the producer half of, and I had another guy who was mainly the DJ half, and we didn't really practice on our feet all that much as much as me and Jesse and I did. So I still really didn't know how. So Jesse pretty much taught me that. And, I kind of had like a lot of the producer angle with things. And so Jesse and I's collaboration, like even with like friendship things, it's like, it's true synchronization because we each have like things that the other person like complements the other person with. And so it was a blast. It was like kind of like meant to be, almost like just being like best friends and connecting through music.
I love that. And the fact that it all began at a Chainsmokers concert is such a beautiful thing. That's awesome.
Told them that
Funny
story.
Thing was,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, years later, we ended up connecting with them, and we told them that story, and they're like, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's so great. You got to talk to them about that. Drew I should know this. I'm going to get in trouble for mixing them up. Drew, he's from Maine. So we love them. We've had them come perform here, and Maine is like a huge Chainsmokers fan. So that's really cool that you guys had that connection. And of course, I've got to ask the name. Where did Friendzone come from?
To be honest, like, it doesn't really have a super exciting background. I feel like we need to make up some sort of story, but it was at the time, it was just something that was like kind of funny, like, it was relevant at the time. We're like, oh, Friendzone, and like we thought that we could build like a cool brand out of it. And so Friendzone was born out of more of memes than anything. Yeah,
I mean, it rolls off the tongue. I like it.
Yeah,
like it. It's way healthier than chain smoking, so.
Yeah, although we've gotten some criticism about it. Like we used to run some of our music through like just a anonymous listening platform, and the most criticism we ever get is about our name. People are like, well, Friendzone kind of has this weird connotation behind it. We're like, we promise it's not like that. Like, we don't care.
We're just
I have plenty of female friends.
Serious, right. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, I know that Space Yacht recently launched their record label, which is extra special because you guys have been signed to it. So first of all, what was that moment like, that call?
That was crazy. And it came at a time where Jesse and I felt like we were making some of, the best music that we've ever made. And we've kind of been struggling to find out like what our next chapter is. And, Jesse and I, we love music of all kinds. Like, we take on so much influence from a ton of different genres. And so we like our production to not only reflect that, but reflect amazing collaborations with amazing vocalists. And so we were kind of trying to figure out like what our next sound was going to be and how to really focus it. But then beyond that, to kind of propel our project to get in front of an audience that we really wanted to show all this great new stuff to, we wanted a label partner that was going to do more than just release and promote and distribute our music. We wanted a label partner that really, really wanted to establish a friendship and a relationship with us as artists, and then also our listeners and our fan base, because we like to be incredibly fun-loving, like super down-to-earth, like easy to access guys. And so we wanted a label that really kind of embodied what it's like to be, in the friend zone,
right.
what we call everything. But yeah, when we first got that email, I think it was Jesse who actually submitted our music through their TuneCore streams, which is how they like find and sign a lot of their new music. And we had some like other labels that we were looking at as well. But as soon as we got that Space Yacht one and we started talking to them, it was like very clear how different of approach that they took than anyone else did. Like they wanted that relationship, they wanted to build with us, and it's not all about just streams and putting out a song. We wanted to tell a story, we wanted to do stuff right, and they were just the best guys to go with.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
We love Henry and Rami.
Yeah.
Yes. What a cool brand to associate yourselves with too. When we can finally start doing festivals and things like that again, I think that's really sick. And I know it's fairly new, but would you say that anything has changed in your lives since signing that deal?
Not necessarily that deal. Mm-hmm. What really has changed kind of everything for us is we just signed into new management with our girl, Ellie. And like, within the blink of an eye, like just all of these new opportunities, she's working so hard for us. And we finally found somebody that like really is like going to be our best friend and our biggest supporter and works just as hard as we do on the brand. And we're so excited to be working with her that like, that's what's amazing.
Oh, good. Shout out to Ellie. I feel like our paths might have not crossed without her. I don't know her, 100%. But I love her. That's
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for what's going to come. Like, I do think that the release of Space Yacht is going to be big for us because it's the first time we're putting out our music on a label that's like kind of like, more well-known in the music industry. Mm-hmm. So I think after, that's when we're really going to start to see a difference.
I agree. One thing that I did notice though early on that's like rare for us to experience at this point in our career is again, Space Yacht, they care and they want to do a great job, and they want to do their artists justice. They want to do their fans justice. They have an amazing brand already curated, and we really, really respect them for that. And that was clear for me going into all of these meetings, kind of talking about our release strategy. Not ever something that we've had ever before with any labels that we've been working with. No label has ever said, hey, we're releasing on this date. Here are the assets. Here's our strategy. Let's have meetings about it. Space Yacht was like, this is our plan. We have meetings. We're pitching it this place, other places. And so I was sitting there like, these are people who actually want to do amazing work. And I was overwhelmed by that because it was a new experience for us, and it's made me very happy.
Yes. Love people who have their stuff together. And speaking of releases, Thursday, you have a new song coming out through Space Yacht, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, finally.
What can you tell us about the new song?
Yeah, I would love to. So this new song is kind of the first chapter, the first piece in our new releases for this year. And a lot of our new music, we've kind of worked to be really, really interesting from a creative perspective when it comes to the instrumental as well as the lyrics. And instrumentally, what Jesse and I have kind of noticed, and a lot of what other people have, kind of noticed and even do as well during their live shows is, you hear an original played out, right? And then the DJ right after that first verse will drop a remix usually. So it goes, original drop, and then a remix, sort of like a heavier, more lively, like live performance facing drop. And so like my big question to that process was, why isn't anyone kind of making production that's like this? Because I feel like I'm hearing a lot of these flavors at live shows and it's super exciting, but I'm not hearing a lot of that when it actually comes to stuff that's on the radio. And so maybe we'll go out on a limb and like try this new idea to kind of mix up, different styles of choruses, different styles of drops, and kind of mix, super intense dance music with really radio friendly pop styles, and kind of bridge both the worlds that Jesse and I love. Because, we love pop music, and we love like the rave culture and the scene and all that as well. And so we kind of wanted to build a gap with our instrumentals that way. But then also lyrically, a lot of our new stuff kind of resembles different phases of relationships. And so I Don't Want to Know is a song about, you know, maybe you just loved and lost, or maybe you have a crush on someone and you just can't get that person out of their head. And, you know, maybe it's wrong to still love them. Maybe it's best for you to move on from that situation, but you still have that tether in your heart that you can't picture, you know, who else they might be with. You know, it's still just a little bit painful for you to imagine. And so this new song is kind of about the complexity of the human heart around that aspect of a relationship.
Very cool. Something obviously everyone can relate to. Very excited for that on Thursday. And in addition to that, not to get ahead of myself, but are there any other projects you guys that are working on that are upcoming after this one?
Oh yeah, so much. So we kind of took like 2020 off from releases, and we just made that our year to really concentrate on like more of like our brand, like our mission statement, like who is Friendzone? And so what we did was we just worked on tons of new music. So that way we're ready, you know, when it's finally time, when we're all coming out of quarantine, we can finally get out there and we can party our asses off. Sorry, am I allowed to say that?
Yes, please say
okay,
that.
Okay, good.
Put it into the universe. We need that as much as possible. What was super, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, so we have tons of new stuff. Our next release after this one is, in my opinion, probably going to be like the most special one that we've put out yet, and really the one I have the most confidence in. But I'm really excited for I Don't Want to Know, because like Hayden said, this is the first in like the new chapter. It's so exciting.
Absolutely. What is also very exciting is I saw Zedd listened to one of your songs live on his little feedback stream. How cool is that? How did you guys get that to happen?
That was amazing.
That was insane.
Another thing that you know, Jesse is just incredible at finding, you know, little nooks and crannies that we can kind of, you know, plug our music into. And, you know, he saw that Zedd was having a feedback stream to listen to some tunes from his followers. And so that's what led Jesse to submit. And it was especially crazy for me because, you know, I really like started getting into the whole electronic scene back in like the early to mid 2010s. And, you know, Zedd was huge, right? He was like right at the forefront of like his breakthrough. And I've been such a huge Zedd fan for a while. And so that was so special to watch. I remember back like in 2015 or 16, he did the True Colors tour. And I saw Zedd and Chainsmokers and Madeon for a $35 ticket.
Oh my God.
Whenever I tell anyone that, no one believes me, because that's a lineup in itself right there. It's massive. And so seeing Zedd enjoy and relate to our music and have amazing things to say about it was just I still watch that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, is this really happening? Did he say this? I don't believe it. And that's actually what led us to Ellie, believe it or not. So we wouldn't have found Ellie if it wasn't for that happening too. So shout out Zedd for helping us find our Ellie.
Yes. Oh, that is extra special. Were you guys watching that live as it was happening?
Yeah.
Were you going to have a heart attack, nervous about what he was going to say, or were you pretty confident he was going to love it?
Yeah, so, there she is. Hey, Ellie.
Ellie's here. Oh my God, what a gift.
I was like Ricky Bobby and Talladega Nights doing that interview. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hey Allie, we were just talking about you, girl.
How are you? I thought I'd hop on just for at least a second to say hello.
I'm glad you did, Allie. Tell us something about Friendzone while you're here. How does it feel now that you're managing them?
Okay, I mean, I'm so excited. These two they keep me laughing literally every day.
Oh.
So they're really fun to work with. And incredible producers and musicians. I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and these guys have what it takes. So I'm excited to put out the music this year and have everyone hear it.
I can certainly tell by all the discs behind you. Look at you, Ellie. That's amazing. They were just saying you discovered them from Zedd's live stream?
Yes, I did. So Zedd's actually a good friend of ours, and another artist that I manage was putting a song on that live stream too. So I was like, I want to see his reaction. And then I saw their song, and I was like, I literally was with my business partner, and I was like, yo, did you hear that one? And she was like, yeah. And then I saw his response too. And I was like, wow, okay, so I'm not crazy. This is a hit. I can't wait. And I was like, I have to hit them up. And then ironically, we had a mutual friend too. So it was all meant to be.
Yeah.
Also, I love those earrings.
Thank you. Oh,
those are awesome.
so much.
As soon as I met Haley, I'm like, earrings, yes, love them.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like to be a little extra jazzy on a Friday. You know, why not?
It is Friday.
It is Friday after all.
TGIF, am I right?
We're here. We made it. We're skipping work. You know, it is what it is. Sorry, I revealed the secret. My bad. Ellie, that is so cool. I'm glad you guys found each other. And that just goes to show you never know when you put yourself out there who is going to see that and what a big move that could be for you.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Friendzone. I saw you guys recently tweeted that 2021 is going to be hitting different for you guys. So, of course, I got to know, what are the big goals for the year?
Oh, I mean, obviously a lot of that's contingent on what happens with the world, but our goals are just to, in the words of Riff Raff, to blow up, then act like we don't know nobody. I'm just kidding. No, we're just excited to like just get out there and meet people and play shows and release new music and just really show people what we're all about. And like, I don't know, excited to just be us.
Yes.
It's our breakout year, you know?
Yeah,
exactly. And what the world needs, in my opinion, is positivity and togetherness out of, you know, coming from isolation. And that's what Jesse and I's brand is all about. It's all about having a great, silly, goofy, fun time with everyone that you love and even strangers that you don't even know. And so just for us to be able to get back on dance floors with people again and sharing new music and sharing fun nights again with everybody, definitely on the forefront of our minds as long as we can do it safely. But we just can't wait to be back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, our goal from the beginning has just been like, if one person can come to our show and leave that night feeling like they had a good time, they were able to forget about everything that was troubling them and just like leave it all on the dance floor and like have a good night, then that means that we've like kind of achieved our goals. So we're excited to be able to do that here in Austin, in LA, like wherever. We're just excited to meet people and make that happen for them.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm always looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to get there eventually. And when we're finally able to go to shows again, what would be your number one like dream show or place to perform?
That's hard. There's a lot.
That is so hard.
Well, so I have kind of a bucket list. I don't know if I can answer just one. I'm going to cheat a little bit and go for a couple. So I always have a dream to play a Formula One race. I'm a huge Formula One fan. I'll play a race somewhere in the world some weekend. I'd love to play Austin City Limits because Austin's my hometown. Love ACL. I grew up at ACL. But then, you know, as big gets with EDC and Ultra, you know, I love both the festivals that those guys curate. And so being a part of the madness that's in, you know, Las Vegas and Miami is a huge goal.
Yeah. Yes. And I've always wanted to play at the Gorge. The very first festival I ever went to was at the Gorge in Washington. And it's like probably one of the most beautiful venues in the world. So like, when things come back, like that's like a goal for me, is to be up there on that stage.
Yeah, so cool. Only a little offended that neither of you said Maine, but I understand it can be second on the list and that's fine. But here
we don't want to play favorites.
That's understandable. I get it. Here in Maine, our state motto is the way life should be because we're very wholesome here. So I want to know, according to you guys, what is the way life should be?
The way life should be is just living life to the fullest. Like we try and say yes to everything that we can because like you never know what you're going to miss out on. And I think that's what the way life should be. Just having a good time. It doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, like as long as you got your friends and you got good times, maybe a dog, then you're happy.
Absolutely.
I completely agree. I'm a very spontaneous person myself. And, you know, I love being around people. You know, I'm so intoxicated by, you know, what my friends are doing, what my family is doing. I drive a lot of my influence from culture and friendships and everything like that. And so, you know, being present, you know, with yourself and with your mind and just willing to go and experience new stuff and live life and experience culture is exactly the core of my being, really.
Absolutely. Oh, you guys, those were perfect responses. Thank you, Friendzone and Ellie, so much for joining me today. It was great to meet you all. And I can't wait for Thursday. The single's coming. We're ready.
We're so excited. Thank you for interviewing us. It was fun.
It was fun. Best of wishes to you guys for the rest of 2021. And until we meet again.
Yo, thank you so much, Haley.
Take care, you guys.
Haylstorm.